What's up, Skull Nation? Buckle up because what I'm about to tell you will have you jumping off your couch, spilling your beer, and calling every Vikings fan you know. We've got three massive developments happening right now in Minneapolis that are about to shake the entire NFL to its core. And trust me, you're going to want to sit down for this one. First, our defensive mastermind has been quietly building something legendary that nobody saw coming. Then, our head coach just made an announcement that has never been heard before in the history of OTAs. And I mean never. And finally, there's a four-time All-Pro superstar who might be wearing purple and gold sooner than you think. And this could be the missing piece that takes us straight to the promised land. I'm telling you right now, Skull Nation, what's happening in Minneapolis is nothing short of a revolution. Our front office has been making moves that are flying under the radar while other teams are making headlines with flashy signings. But what we're building, it's sustainable, it's powerful, and it's going to have the rest of the NFL asking, how the hell did Minnesota pull this off? Smash that like button if you're ready for a Super Bowl run. Comment below with your favorite Vikings chant, and hit that subscribe button because you do not want to miss what's coming next. The pieces are falling into place in ways that would make even the football gods jealous, and I'm about to break down exactly why this Purple Army is about to become the most feared team in the NFC. But first, let me tell you about the defensive foundation that's going to make Aaron Rodgers and Justin Herbert have nightmares. Skull Nation, meet your new defensive destroyers, Blake Cashman and Ivan Pace Jr., two linebackers who just cracked the top 32 linebackers in the entire NFL according to Pro Football Focus. And let me tell you why this is absolutely massive for our championship aspirations. Blake Cashman isn't just good, he's elite. Sitting at 12th overall among all NFL linebackers, this man has already made that $22.5 million contract look like highway robbery in our favor. When Cashman is on the field, magic happens. The Vikings went 13-2 with him in the lineup. 13-2, Skull Nation. That's not a coincidence. That's what happens when you have a linebacker who can rush the passer. 72.0 PFF pass rush grade, 5th among all linebackers. Stuff the run, 82nd percentile run defense grade, and drop into coverage like a safety. Brian Flores' aggressive blitz-heavy scheme was made for a player like Cashman. While other teams are paying $20+ million for linebackers who can only do one thing well, we've got a Swiss Army knife who gives Flores the flexibility to dial up pressure from anywhere on the field. You think opposing offensive coordinators aren't losing sleep trying to figure out where Cashman is coming from? They better be. But here's where it gets insane. Ivan Pace Jr. clocks in at 32nd overall, and this kid was playing injured for most of 2024. Even with injuries slowing him down, he posted an 87.0 PFF run defense grade that was 7th in the entire NFL. 7th. This undersized warrior uses his low center of gravity to get underneath offensive linemen and create havoc in the backfield like nobody else can do it. Kwesi Adofo-Mensah didn't just find talent, he found value. While other teams are overpaying for big names, we're getting elite production from players who fit perfectly into our defensive scheme. This isn't luck, Skull Nation, this is genius roster construction. But wait until you hear what Kevin O'Connell just announced that has never happened before in NFL history. Hold up, Skull Nation. Kevin O'Connell just made an announcement after our first open OTA session that sent shockwaves through the entire NFL. Darn near 100% participation. Let me repeat that because I don't think you understand how unprecedented this is. Darn near 100% of our team showed up for voluntary workouts in May. In the history of OTAs, no team has ever had their entire roster show up for voluntary sessions. Never. But here we are, with virtually every single player in purple and gold showing up because they believe in what we're building. JJ McCarthy isn't just throwing passes, he's building chemistry with Justin Jefferson, who skipped OTAs the last 2 seasons. Jefferson, our $140 million superstar, is out there grinding in May because he knows this is our year. Every receiver that I'm with, it's that timing, those reps, all of that has to be built up over time. So the more reps, the better, McCarthy said, and you can hear the hunger in his voice. This isn't just about football, Skull Nation. This is about culture. When your entire team shows up voluntarily in May, when your highest paid superstar is grinding through optional workouts, when your rookie quarterback is getting 11 on 11 reps with the best receiver in the NFL. That's when you know something special is brewing. O'Connell called it the totality of your football team, and that's exactly what we have. Totality. Every position group, every unit, every single player buying into the vision of bringing a Lombardi trophy to Minneapolis. The only player not there? Christian Darrisaw, and he's working his way back from that ACL injury, but you know he's going to be ready when it matters. The vibes aren't just trending in the right direction, they're off the charts. But here's where things get absolutely nuclear. Skol Nation, prepare yourselves, because we might be about to add a 4-time All-Pro to our already stacked secondary. Justin Simmons, the former Denver Broncos superstar who just spent last season with the Atlanta Falcons, could be the final piece of our championship puzzle. Here's why this makes perfect sense. We lost Cameron Bynum to the Indianapolis Colts, and while we still have Harrison Smith and Josh Metellus anchoring our safety position, adding Simmons would create the most devastating secondary rotation in the entire NFL. We're talking about a man who made the Pro Bowl 3 straight years from 2021-2023, a proven veteran who knows how to win in clutch moments. Theo Jackson has been a special teams monster and is ready to step up. But imagine the depth we'd have with Simmons in the mix. Brian Flores' aggressive defensive scheme demands solid coverage in the back end, and Simmons has spent his entire career excelling in exactly that type of system. The connections are already there. Simmons wants to reunite with his former coach, Vic Fangio, in Philadelphia. But here's the thing. We can offer him something the Eagles can't. A legitimate chance to be the missing piece on a Super Bowl roster. At 32 years old, Simmons is looking for that one last shot at glory, and there's no better place to get it than in Minneapolis. Kwesi Adofo-Mensah has been prioritizing the trenches in free agency, but he's also shown he's not afraid to make the big move when the right opportunity presents itself. If Simmons is willing to sign a 1-year team-friendly deal to chase a championship, this could be the signing that puts us over the top. Think about it, Skol Nation. Harrison Smith in his 14th season still playing at an elite level. Josh Metellus coming off a career year. Theo Jackson ready to break out. And potentially Justin Simmons bringing 4-time All-Pro experience. That's not just depth. That's a championship-caliber secondary. The timing couldn't be more perfect. Training camp is approaching. Rosters are being finalized, and Simmons is still available. One phone call from Kwesi, one conversation about winning a Super Bowl in Minneapolis, and we could have our final defensive piece. Smash that like button if you want to see Simmons in purple and gold. Comment below with hashtag #BringHimHome if you think this signing needs to happen. And subscribe, because when this signing gets announced, you'll want to be the first to know. This is it, Skol Nation. The defense is elite, the culture is unmatched, and we might be one signature away from having the most complete roster in franchise history. The purple rain isn't coming. It's here. Are you ready to skol like you've never skoled before? Skol Vikings. Let's bring home that Lombardi trophy.